I want to share with you a little vignette, if I may, and this is my Barbershop Quartet. I was in a barbershop about 4 years ago now, and they typically, lots of barbershops don't really do appointments. You just go and sit and wait your turn. And as I was sat waiting on the bench of the chairs waiting, because there was quite a queue of people there, I just became conscious of a discussion that was going on between one of the barbers and the person whose hair they were cutting. And as I continued to listen, I became more and more uncomfortable with the content of the discussion. And it kind of was this quartet. See what I did there? Barbershop Quartet. It was a discussion that could be categorized as heteronormative, misogynistic, sexist, and violent. All these things, all in this discussion as they were kind of boasting about their conquests and boasting about all sorts of stuff. And then what caught my attention is that a man came into the shop with his young son. His young son must have been, I'd say, about 4 or 5, and just came and sat down next to him to wait his turn in the barbershop. And the kid was just sat watching, I think it was like Octonauts or something, which, by the way, is probably singularly the best children's television program in the world ever. So the kid sat there, kind of oblivious to what's going on around him and watching Octonauts. Why am I telling this story? Because that's where these messages start to get fed to these children. They hear this stuff at a very young age. Boys are taught that it's okay to be sexist and violent and misogynistic. They're taught it's just part of who we are from a really young age. No one sat that child down and said, right, put your Octonauts down. I need to tell you about the way the world works. Women are trash and you need to dominate them. And you need to behave in a very straight way and all that sort of stuff. No one sat that kid down, but he was exposed to that. He would have picked up some of that discussion. He wouldn't have understood that that was misogyny because he wouldn't have understood the term. But that's the building blocks, you see. And then he goes into another environment where that happens and he just kind of hears that. And that's where this stuff gets normalized. And we're wondering why. We're wondering why women are refusing to go into bars because they're scared that men are going to assault them. Because kids like that, whilst watching as Octonauts, are being taught that that's exactly how you should behave and that's how you should think about women. And trust me, it starts from the minute that all of us are born. We start to be fed these messages.